Join me today to do a recce for a bush spot or a camp cooking spot. If you saw my last video, you'll notice getting family out of the house can be easy. Jump into the backyard, good stepping stone. Now, if you want to make that transition even easier again, doing a recce or reconnaissance or just having a look at the spot that you're going to go in, particularly if you're not familiar with the area, this is the perfect opportunity to take your time by yourself, go out there, have a good scout around, make sure there's a suitable spot for yourself. You can do some camp cooking out there, and more importantly, if you want to bring your fam, it's suitable for them too. So the spot we're checking out today is about a 6.5k walk, so make sure you've got some decent shoes on. So part of any good reconnaissance is actually knowing where you are and knowing where you're going. So on my Garmin, so you can see I've got a bearing or a heading there. That's in mils, but obviously you can set it in degrees, completely up to you. You can even plug grids in, etc. But I highly recommend using these sort of functions on your Apple Watch, your Garmin, etc., just so you know exactly where you're going. And look, you can get some absolutely fantastic apps as well. Like this one's MilGPS. I've marked mark entrance there. So if crap hits the fan, I know exactly where I broke track and sort of came in. Now, in particular, if you're walking in a place you don't normally go to, big features like this, perfect time now to mark that on your watch or your GPS app, etc. Or even if you've got an old school map. If you're feeling frisky, you want to add some running into it. Righto, so I'm giving the Yabbie Trail a crack, which is in southeast Queensland. Now, I don't know if you remember what I said in the last video about navigating by the sun. This is in particular if you're lost, right? Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Not best to go walking, looking for prominent features by the sun during the middle of the day, because obviously it'll be right above you, and then you can't navigate and you're going to be fucking lost. So, on a day like today, very, very overcast, right? So if you have absolutely no idea where you're going other than, you know, oh, I have to head east, for example, to hit a certain river or a landmark, this is obviously not the time to do it unless you can see the sun exactly where it is and pinpoint it. Best bet to stay put. Now, I'm not a rock nerd, but I do appreciate stuff like this. I guess it's because I wanted to be a paleontologist when I was younger. Might be hard to tell, there's a really nice rock feature up there. Could be a perfect spot for a barbecue. You can see we've had some heavy rain here. Just look how far that's dug out. If you get to a big cross intersection like this and you're really, really worried, tie off some pink tape, something very obvious to yourself which will direct you back the way you came. Even putting some sticks with an arrow pointing direction back the way you came is nice and simple. It's a big part of the Australian bush is obviously bushfires. You can see this particular area here, a lot of burnt out trunks. I'm going to assume this is probably about in the 5 to 7 year mark. A fire came through here, the vegetation's grown back quite nicely. That is definitely a decent drop. It's always hard to tell on the camera, but I can assure you right now, if you had a decent trip, there's not much stopping you from dropping down there. That's probably a good, I don't know, 50, 60 metre drop. Always on the lookout for koalas. They're bloody hard to spot.
Further in though, not near the track.
Yeah. Not many people come down. It's mainly the motorbikes and stuff that would scare them off. Was that a brown snake off to the left? Pretty lucky here. We've actually got some massive power lines that have obviously cut through the bush and the view is stunning. Just in case you're wondering. So that dark tree in the middle, that's Queensland ironbark. It's called ironbark because the bark is obviously like iron, protects it a lot from any bushfires, etc. That is my wood of choice when it comes to smoking, cooking. You would have seen it in my last video as well. It's fantastic wood. There you go, there's a nice close-up of it. As you can see, rock hard. It's usually, you can tell by the darkness, and have big fishes in it. It almost looks like an old man's skin. It could be a koala right above us. You just wouldn't even know, eh? You just walk straight past. Oh, look at the size of that thing. I reckon it's been hit by lightning. Now, I know koalas are synonymous with Australian bushfire, but it's actually surprisingly difficult to find the cheeky little buggers because they are, generally speaking, very quiet, and because they're almost stoned off the head off the eucalyptus, they're just sitting up in the trees doing almost nothing, conserving energy. Now you can see the total change in vegetation only walking in probably an additional 200 metres. That's because we're obviously getting closer to a creek line, a lot more moisture, a lot more greenery. So that's just another way to help navigate, in particular when you're hiking out to a camping spot to do a bush cook or something like that. Can anyone tell me what this is? Got some pretty big scratch marks. You can see the distance between each of the claws, just over a knuckle. Could have been a kangaroo or something having a bit of a dig around. See here, I've now marked on the GPS app basically the place where I'm going to break track and go check out the potential cooking camping spot. Right, heading 4,000. just follow me and then I'll cop all the spiders. So there's an animal digging up the termite mound here, trying to get a feed. If you listen carefully, you can just start to hear the running water of a creek. You all right? It's pretty cool. You can see where it flooded in the last 12 months ago. You can see how high up it is. Look at that. And look, you can see I'm not quite at the bottom of the creek bed. It's probably about another half a metre down. I'm just under 6 foot. Look at my reach, and look up there. You can see where the twigs and stuff were pushed against this bottle brush here when it flooded through. That is absolutely crazy. Looks like a wallaby. See its hind feet here, front paws just there. Give it a bit of an indication. Great little snacks, easy to carry, a little bit of protein hit. Can't say an apple's my favourite snack, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. Apple a day keeps the doctor away, as they say. Don't know if you can hear him in the microphone. We'll see how deep this is. Not too deep. What do you reckon for all you gold nerds out there? Do you reckon we'd find anything tucked away in here or off the red rock down there? Could be a good little spot. I don't think anyone really comes out here looking for gold. Well, Mrs. Q doesn't like being on camera, but I'll show you where she walked. That's a bloody deep footprint. All right, make your way back. Which way did you come from?
Just jump straight there.
Grab my hand and I can like pull you across. Hopefully she doesn't pull me in.
There's no way I'm going to...
Ready? And then jump through that. Go! See? Told you. Now this is some great hardwood. Look at that red colour. You can hear by the sound of it, the feel of it. This would be absolutely gold to cook on. It's obviously well seasoned. You could drag this out of the creek line and this would be absolutely perfect. Good way to mark entrances and exits. Just do a T, follow the T, back the way you came. More wallaby. You can see the tail there. And there's its obviously feet on opposite side and it's headed up that way. Right, I found my spot. Nice and soft from the sand. I can have my head facing that way, run my feet down that way. Sand's hard enough, not gonna sink like Mrs. Q just did. And yeah, nice and close to a water supply. Great little spot. Look at that, I just lifted up this. Oh, look at him go. Little yabbie. Might be hard to tell, but it looks like it's going to piss down. It's a little bit below there, but it's certainly getting fucking grey than my hair chest this way. So we're going to get going and we'll see you soon.